Good evening, folks. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. Um, the title of today's show is "Let's Change Our Perspective," and the reason why I say that it's time for us to change our perspective. We need to start doing things that are kind of different from how we've been doing them before. A couple of things I want to talk about before I get into this show. One of the things I want to say is that I had the opportunity to meet with Sade Davis. And, I've talked about it on this show here. And I want to say this, folks, but sometimes you really have to get to know people before you just go and jump to a conclusion. Or if you hear things about that person, sometimes I like go and I like say things. And on this podcast here, I've had to apologize before. And what I want to say this is that I had an opportunity to meet with Sade Davis, and she's a really nice person. She's a senior community manager for DeVille Manor, and the situation that led me there, she helped me resolve it very well. And I want to say this to Sade is thank you, and my family thank you also. I want to thank another person too. I just can't thank him enough. The Dice Man came to Dumont Plaza today with Rita Jack, announced candidacy announcement for mayor, and he did a good job. And I want to say this about the Dice Man. He's just man, he's that guy that just knows how to, they call him Gadget Man, and that's a true name for him. He would make Gadget Man. If some of you don't know about that show, go and look at that show, Gadget Man. 'Cause Gadget Man could fix anything and make anything. And that's kind of like how the Dice Man is. And he did a good job today. Um, I gotta say this about the black people in Meridian. I want to say a couple of things. Like I saw Scotty Ray. This is my first time seeing him. I saw him. I literally did not know what he looked like, but I had reason to go to the Scotty Ray report. And I'm always hearing about the Scotty Ray report. It seems that he's always reported news that's in the community. And he was there today, and I imagine he's already posted some things. But I want to touch upon some things that was that and I tell you folks that sometimes I go to the different social medias. I go to Facebook, I go to places like that, and when I go to them, my purpose of going to them is just to read, and sometimes I post, and sometimes I don't. But I want to say this is that I saw what he put up what Rita announced, and I sent it to a lot of my family and friends. I want to say this to my family and friends: you really disappoint me. I'm not gonna call any of your name, but if the shoe fit, wear it. You disappoint me because when I call on you to support me, when I call on you to do things such as come to Dumont Plaza and let's support the person that we think should be the next mayor, I can understand it. If I can come from Birmingham, Alabama, to come down to Meridian, Mississippi, to show support for a person that I think is needed. And you guys live in that cesspool called Meridian, Mississippi. You live there. You know all the things that are bad with that city. You know all the things that has happened in that city. You know what the fuck has happened to me in that city. And not only me, other people like the Barber family. It's just so many people that has been mistreated. If you don't know, just go and sit in the city courtroom at any time, and you will see how black citizens are corralled into that. You ride around in Meridian, if you're black, you better be careful. You better make sure you have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, because you're going to be pulled over by law enforcement. And you know how things, our children are not being educated. There's no livable jobs in Meridian, Mississippi, and you did not show up. I ask you, why didn't you just say no instead of ignoring me? Why didn't you just say no? I'm just telling you, but family, I gotta say this to you. Family, I'm used to this. I'm used to this from you, family and friends. Now look, I'm not talking to all of my family because some of you sick, some of you live in other cities, and I know that and understand that. But those of you that does not have anything wrong with you, and you right there in Meridian, Mississippi, and all this shit going on, all you can do is sit around, joke, smoke, drink your beer, or either go and lay up with some female or whatever it is that you do for entertainment or satisfying your immediate gratification. You prefer to do that, and you watching this city go down, down, down. Come on, folks, come on. Now look, now I'm finna get off here, and I'm fixing to talk something positive. I don't care if you don't show up, as long as you vote. Now, let me tell you something. When Donald Trump, President Trump, froze those programs, a lot of you, your draws got bunched up and you was afraid. Some of you called me, you was so afraid. Wow, man. And he did. Donald Trump put a pause on all federal programs, including food stamps, SNAP benefits is what it is, including financial aid, including Medicaid, Medicare. Everything was frozen. It created chaos in America and throughout the world, but mostly in America. And so they had to go and withdraw that. But you Negroes that call me, some of you, I ask you, did you vote? You say no. And for you to say that you don't know how to vote or you don't know where to go, but you know how to get on Facebook, you know how to get on Instagram, X, Twitter, you know how to do all those things. You know how to roll up a blunt. You know how to grab a whiskey bottle and turn it up. You know how to grab a beer can and turn it up. You know how to open your lady legs up or your man or however it is that you do what it is you do. You know how to do that, but you don't know how to vote. Oh, you know how to vote, but you won't go do that. It's shame on you. You know what? Some of you can't leave your house. You can't go and because of your health, you can't go out and do things. But guess what? You can still vote because you got a phone. Everybody got a phone. Even little children have a phone. You got a phone. If you don't have a phone, somebody close to you have a phone. But we just gonna assume, and I don't think it's a fallacious assumption for me to assume that you have a phone. All you have to do is call your circuit court clerk and they will mail you an absentee ballot. There's no reason for you not to vote in 2024, 2025. There's no reason for you not to get involved in the political process. I'm a little bit upset. I'm not upset at you not showing up. I'm upset at the state of the state of the union. No, take that back. I'm not the president. The state of the Black community, the state of the white community, the state of the community, period. It's bad for us, especially Black folks. You know what? They always perpetuating stereotypes about us, being lazy, being shiftless, don't want to do nothing but lay up and fuck. And only thing you're doing is perpetuating the stereotype that other races have about us. It's time for us to not tell them they're wrong about us, but show them that they're wrong about us. It's time for us to make a difference. Some of you ain't gonna vote still. And guess what? Don't bring your ass to me when HUD gets stopped and your ass ain't got nowhere to stay. When you all of a sudden find yourself 30, 40, 50, and you gotta get serious with life, but you don't have any skills. You don't have any education because you ain't did nothing but laid around and did nothing all of your life. Now, I'm enough of that. I want to address some things and talk to me about my family and so-called friends. And you don't owe me an apology because everybody have a choice to do and go and do whatever they want to. But I tell you what, tell me, you out there in podcast land, if you know me, if you have reason to call on me for anything, can you tell me anytime that I did not come there immediately and do whatever I needed to do in order for you or your family or a friend or whomever it is that you're concerned about to be okay? Can you tell me one time I didn't do that? Man, you Negroes better stop wearing your feelings on your sleeve. I'm going to tell you that. And the reason why I say that is because I don't understand some of you out there. I don't understand you. If I could call some names now and just piss the fuck out of some of y'all, but I'm not going to. But I don't understand some of you out there. I don't understand you. Now, okay, let me calm down a little bit. Let me go on to my little next thing. When Rita Jack's announcement for candidacy, y'all see the blue card, and then she was telling about her experiences. Skylar Ray posted that, and it's good because that's what he does. One person, David Ladding, police officer, had negative comments. This is what he had to say. Just the thought of her being in charge of anything, much less an entire city, is frightening. But I want to say is that David Ladding, now you obviously don't like females, black females, obviously a racist, because Rita Jackson is one of the most qualified individuals that's running for mayor. She's more qualified to lead the city of Meridian than the current mayor that you have there now, Jimmy Smith. She's more qualified than Percy Bland, who's an insurance agent and never had the job before. She's been around. Let me read to you, David Ladden, some of her credentials. For over 25 years of her adult life, she has serviced the city of Meridian in some form or some capacity. I mean, been with the Drug Task Force, Neighborhood Watch, lieutenant with the Meridian Police Department. And you know what? She passed the captain's test. She was selected by a vetting committee to be the next chief of police under Percy Bland, but he didn't want her because she has impeccable credentials. She's not going to do anything wrong. Percy wants somebody that he can control so he can get the drugs off the interstate. Yes, I said it. I said it again. You told me when we was going to Jackson to meet with some of your folks when you was running for mayor and before you was elected, you told me at your own here that we got to get that money out. What money you talking about? The drug money. Now, I know I'm chopping up my words. I kind of do that when I get upset. So let me kind of calm down a little. Told me your own mouth, Percy Bland, about you wanting to get the dope off the interstate and the money. But you didn't want to get it so that you could you didn't say nothing about let's clean up the cities. You didn't say anything about let's stop this drug from going through the city of Meridian on our interstates. What you said is we got to get some of that money. I said, what money you talking about? On the interstate. Come on, Holt, you know what I'm talking about. And I just shook my head and I didn't make any reference. And I can go before the judge, I can go before God and I can say the same thing, that I dropped my head. And that's the first time I was disappointed in him. The second time I was disappointed in his ass, when he saw that he had his foot in the door, he changed. He changed on you out there too. And he changed on you, Lo. He changed on you, Pam. And I can't believe that y'all are supporting him now. I can't understand that shit. I don't give a damn about who's the mayor, what color the mayor is, what the race of the mayor, or whether it's a female or whether it's a male. What I care about is that we get somebody that's going to be a mayor for all the citizens, and that person right now is Rita Jacks. Now, I hear some of you say some couple. I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to talk about some more. I'm going to talk about some more things. You know, she was a patrol officer, investigative detective, a police detective, to narcotic agent, public relations, to crime prevention, from local police to district law enforcement liaison officer. I mean, this is Rita Jacks. She was born right there in Lauderdale County, Meridian, Mississippi. Percy Bland was not, Jimmy Smith not, Copeland not. How is that we always need some Negro from some everywhere that doesn't really have our best interests at heart and want to make them lead us? Now look at you Negroes out there that don't vote, and you Negroes out there that have your feelings on your sleeve. You Negroes out there that's a sellout that can be bought and can be paid for. This time out for all of that shit. It's time for us to put somebody in office that's not gonna be a part of status quo. And when you're not a part of status quo, they're gonna attack you. They're gonna do everything they can, such as what David Ladden did, and what he said about Rita. And I want to go on and tell this to David. What's frightening David Ladden is a return to Percy Bland. What's frightening is 4 more years of Jimmy Smith. Someone by the name of Tina Estes. I guess there's Molds Estes. Anyway, she said, wow, really? What has she done? Really? Now, you're uninformed, Miss Estes. I don't know you, but come on, let's be fair. You're obviously uninformed. What has Percy done? You attacked Rita, you say things about her, but when you ain't saying anything about Percy, what has Percy done? Google it. He put 28 miles of road in certain areas in Meridian, Mississippi, and brought businesses, and the business that he brought there not there now. He didn't do shit but enrich himself and his friends. Jimmy Smith got the roads looking good, but you better follow the bag. Follow the bag. Look at his administrative head. Come on, folks. Come on. It's time for us to start doing something for all the citizens of Meridian. Y'all hear Two Bell talking. Two Bell, I'm just saying, why you wouldn't say something to him? Two Bell just told him, said, bro, why you so concerned about that and you don't live in Meridian? Because I got family there. I have children there. I have nieces and nephews, sisters and brothers. I have friends there. That's the reason why I'm concerned. My mother's buried there. My daughter's buried there. And my brother's buried there. It's my home. And I want it to be okay. And I can't lay down and go to sleep at night Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know what? All of you out there, we are the prayingest people. But you know, God is not listening to us because we're not doing right. God ain't gonna. God say you can't have two gods, and He's a jealous God. You're either gonna be for Mammon or you're gonna be for Him, the devil or Him. You can't do halfway right and think God gonna be satisfied and gonna be smiling upon you for that. He's not going to. There's no such thing as a Piccadilly or a small lie or a white lie. A lie is a lie, a lie is a sin, is a sin, is a sin. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Now, I don't see how some of you can go to sleep at night. I don't see how you can do it. But all the things that's going on. One person, Joseph Brown, said about Copeland, Copeland the best choice. Really, Joseph Brown? What is his track record? What is his platform? Where is he from? Why is it that he wants to be mayor? If anyone is seriously considering being anything in the city of Meridian or Lauderdale County and run as an independent, that in itself is suspect. An independent will not be elected for anything in the city of Meridian. The last time we're going to say certain people's got together and had someone to run as an independent, that person didn't get but 50 votes. Did not impact the election at all. And Percy Bland still became mayor. And that person now, once they don't use him up, now you don't even hear about him running for anything anymore. And I got to say this to Copeland. Now, here's what I think. Two Bell said, bro, why you got to tell what you think? Bro, I got to tell you what I think. Here's what I think. You can't stop me from thinking. Two Bell just said, bro, you know what? I know what you're getting ready to say because I'm thinking the same thing too. Here's what I think. I think Percy Bland and Jimmy Smith and Copeland, I think them three in the same. We're going to say, man, I ain't going to curse. I'm going to be really, really nice. I think they're one in the same. I think that they all working for the same. We're going to say they all promoted by the status quo in order to keep the most viable, the most qualified candidate from running from office. And that's Rita Jack. Two Bell said, why? You have any evidence of that? Here's what I want to say is this. Here's something that's suspect is that Thomas Van had to go to court in federal court where he's filing lawsuit against the city of Meridian. And of course, Rita Jack's doing the same thing too, and she prevailed. So if she was wrong, she would not have prevailed. They paid. So Rita really, really, really wants to make a difference. Let's ask Percy Bland, why do you want to be mayor, Percy Bland? Renew vision. Nigga, you don't have a vision. Why do you want to be mayor of Meridian? Jimmy Smith, why do you want to continue being mayor of Meridian? You're too old. You're too old. You're sick. You shouldn't be there. I know you ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but damn it, I'm saying you don't need the money. So what the fuck you still running for? Why won't you old ass Negroes get your ass out of the way and let young folks come in there and take over? And you done messed that up. How you mess it up? Because you sending our children to jail. You keep this current superintendent that's over Meridian Public School. You keep her there, and Meridian Public School does not educate our children. They miseducate our children. Public schools in the community are not educating our children. They're miseducating our children. The only people that are coming in there getting the education are the Hispanic people coming into the hood. They're revitalizing our neighborhood. They're moving us out. They are their own interpreters now. You can see all that, but you allow for that to happen. So Negroes, get your feelings off the sleeve and let us be the torchbearer in Meridian, Mississippi. Let us change things. We got to change things. The Negroes in the state of Mississippi are the rest Negroes out of all the Negroes in the United States. Mississippi has the largest population of Negroes because the state of Mississippi had more slaves in it than any other state in the Union. And guess what? Them same slave, that same slave mentality is still adversely affecting Meridian, Mississippi to this day. I'm so tired of them selecting the Negroes that they want to represent us. And folks, it is time out for that. It is time for us to make a difference and get somebody there that's going to make a true difference. I want to go and talk about another things, Another person said, Philip Creighton said that so zero good options. You got that almost right. You have that 80% right, but 20% wrong. And the 20% wrong is the fact that Rita Jackson is wrong. She is a very good option to lead the city of Meridian. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something now. I'm going to be looking at all the pages. When you got something bad to say, now I'm going to come with facts. You come with your emotions. You come and do what Percy told you to do, or whoever it is, your slave master is, or your white master is told you to do. I'm going to be there to correct you. Now, look, if you're right, you're right. I ain't going to have anything to say, but I'm coming with facts. When you start talking about a person not being qualified, I need for you to tell me and show me what those non-qualifications are. Don't just run your mouth with clever conversation or ignorant conversation, or come up with, we'll say, redirection or misdirection, doing a lot of talking but not saying anything. Come up with some facts. And I want to get back, folks. Now, don't you think it's suspect that Jimmy Smith attorneys would hire Percy Bland's city attorney, Kermit Kendricks, who lives in Hoover, Alabama, who with the law firm of Burr and Foreman? This is a Southeast law firm that does business in Mississippi, all in the Southeast region. They have over 300 and some attorneys hired in all of it, including the state of Mississippi and Alabama. But Kermit Kendricks doesn't even live in Mississippi. Folks, don't you think that's suspect that Jimmy Smith would hire Percy Bland? See, Jimmy Smith ain't running shit. He's doing what his master's telling him to do. How is it that the city attorney, well, they came and represented the city against me and Percy Bland? I was suing Percy, and it was Thagard, who worked for the city of Meridian. It's Thagard that's going up against Rita Jack. But how is it that, folks, that suspect's going to say, I smell a damn rat. I smell a rat, folks. See, what status quo want is they don't care whether you get Jimmy Bland, a Percy Smith, a Copeland Smith, a Copeland Bland. They don't care about that. What they care about is they want to continue to they want to continue to select for you who it is that they want to lead the city, because they want to maintain status quo. But it's time for us to turn the card over, folks. It's time for us to do something different. We cannot continue to allow for them to bamboozle us. And that's what they've been doing. And here it is that I'm telling you, and look here, I'm doing this by myself. Normally, Lo would help us with this, but she's down in Jimmy, but she's not saying nothing about Percy. I don't understand that shit. Hell, Percy, it was the Percy administration that put her in jail. It's the Jimmy Smith administration that damn set her ass free. Now, I don't care what nobody say out there. The person that's in charge is the one that controls and runs everything in that city. Right now, that person is Jimmy Smith. He want to keep that power because the money, one thing we love is money. You can just about buy anybody with money. You can buy anything with money, including most folks. And Jimmy wants the money. Person wants the money and the power. Person wants the power. Folks, I tell you, it's some more things that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to. But I do want to say this. I want to talk about a couple of things, because I don't want to end this podcast without saying everything that I want to say. But folks, I hope that you share my podcast, and that you think and you continue to think, and not allow for ourselves to be bamboozled. Hey, Kay, how you doing? Hey. Shut up, come let the people see you. Say something to them, baby. Hey, that's it. That's all you're gonna say. Folks, anyway, I want to thank y'all for listening in. I want to thank you. Sometimes I have things, and I kind of I didn't go off on a tangent, but I did talk about the things that I want to talk about, and I did say quite a bit. I want to say a little bit about the executive order. They're not good, and it's not within the Constitution. It's time we do away with those. Because one president signed an executive order, another one do away with it. And so again, folks, I want to thank you again. Please get out and vote. This time we need to show them that we're not going to continue to accept what it is that they're doing. I kind of started this podcast a little early, and that's okay. I've been starting it at 6 o'clock. So those of you that are, and so I'm not able to answer your chats or your text message, but I will. I will. Y'all have